Tonight with the dramatic end of a 2-week manhunt for an escaped killer in Pennsylvania.
From the manhunted Pennsylvania to escapees in Georgia, Texas, even the infamous serial killer Ted Bundy, prison breaks have long fueled fear in Americans.
We're on edge, nervous, scared. We want the coward caught.
And fascination in Hollywood.
It's been almost a year since you escaped.
But I haven't escaped. They're still after me.
Now, while these types of stories often grab national headlines and spark concerns over community safety, just how common are they? And how much do you need to worry about them?
To figure this out, we turn to an expert at the Center for Justice Research and Innovation.
My name is Bryce Peterson. I'm a senior research scientist at CNA and an adjunct professor at John Jay College. And I do research related to correctional issues and safety. Escapes are both more common and less common than you think.
Peterson says public concern should depend on the type of criminal on the run versus the number of escapes in a given year.
There's escapes happening every single day. People leaving from minimum security custody. That's happening all the time, several times a day from facilities across the country. But escapes like what we saw in Pennsylvania, these kinds of more sensational escapes, these are extremely rare.
CBS News analyzed data from 26 states over the past 5 years and found more than 1,100 instances of escapes from law enforcement custody, although many incidents likely go unreported, according to the Center for Justice Research and Innovation, a trend experts blame on low staffing and wages at prisons, jails, and other detainment facilities.
There's no single reporting metric for prisons or jails. They don't have to report on the number of escapes that are occurring. And so because of that, we have a hard time determining how often that occurs.
Why don't we, as the general public, hear about these escapes? Why don't they all garner the same level of attention?
I think a lot of times what happens is someone who's escaping from custody, they're a low-risk individual, are convicted of a less serious crime. They're already served out a lot of their sentence. They're escaping from minimum security custody facilities.
Most documented escapes are low-risk individuals known as walkaways, people typically convicted of minor nonviolent crimes who are incarcerated in minimum security facilities or work release centers and simply walk off. Montana, for example, reported one of the highest levels of escapes in our analysis, likely due to the state's pre-release system, which moves many parolees to unsecure halfway houses. Of its 381 incidents over the past 5 years, 99% were walkaways, according to state data. But the risk of violent outcomes from prison escapes isn't zero.
If you see him, do not attempt to take him into custody by yourself.
Last year, a Texas prison escape turned deadly when a convicted killer got loose for 3 weeks and murdered a family of 5. Nonetheless, Peterson urges vigilance over fear.
I don't think this is something that on a daily basis people should be concerned about. Even when escapes do occur, unless you're in the immediate vicinity where the escapee is known to be, by the time someone is out of custody, they're usually so preoccupied with staying out of custody, finding food, shelter, water, clothing, those kinds of things, that they don't often engage in violence in the community. And that's what we saw, luckily, here in Pennsylvania.
After all, the point of the escape is to never get caught. Tom Hansen, CBS News.